welcome to this week's edition of the Discover Your Assets webinar. For me, I woke up today feeling so excited because I eagerly looked forward to this very hour because we've got a very fantastic, great, world-famous guest today. Someone we've really dreamt, see, everything you think of, okay, end up becoming your reality. Okay, we thought today's edition into existence because we've always looked forward to having him on the Discover Your Assets webinar. And I want to encourage every one of you that are watching us today to get excited. And of course, I look forward to a great edition today. I'm super excited myself. And I just want to encourage you because of the depth of our conversation today. I need you to get your P-Square ready. So when I say P-Square, I don't mean Paul and Peter, I mean your pen and your paper, because we'll be discussing very interesting issues today that relate to how you can further take your career, your business, and even your personal life to the next level. And of course, we'll also be exposing you to the international dimension to what we do at Lifestyle Up. And I want to encourage you to ensure that you share also the replay link of today's edition. All right, so where are you watching us from today? Are you watching us from Accra, Ghana, Lusaka in Zambia, or are you watching us from Rwanda or Kigali? Kigali in Rwanda. Okay, depending on where you're watching us from, just drop it on the comment bar, okay? Just tell us your name and where you are watching us from. And of course, we look forward to having a fantastic edition today. Thank you so very much. As we can all see, today we have the privilege of having Dr. Macaulay Kalu, the chairman, African Union 6th Region, Canada, on set today. Thank you so much, Doc, for being part of this week's edition of the Discover Your Asset webinar.
Thank you so very much for having me. It's quite exciting when I was invited because I know the great job you're doing, and so I was looking forward to it, to just have that time with you and just to really encourage our people today on the great things that is happening in the continent and around the world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you so much. Yeah. Now, we know you are widely traveled, widely experienced. I've had the privilege of having some very deep conversation with you. And for those of us watching us today, it will interest every one of you to know that Dr. Kalu is the founder and chairman of Moka Consulting. Please kindly talk to us about Moka Consulting briefly, sir.
Well, thank you very much for that. Moka Consulting strategy is a consortium of professionals, it came about because Moka, because of my position in the 6th region as a facilitator for the 6th region for the Canada and the Americas, we have a lot of people of African descent. Sure. Who have a lot of skills, a lot of professions that could be of support for the social economic development of the continent of Africa. And we decided that it was time for us to come together and bring our talents together instead of just being the mind approach and do a partnership, a joint venture, a collaboration, a coalition. And so that's what this whole thing is about. It's a consortium of all people of African descent. Awesome. Coming together, engaging also our brothers and sisters in the continent so that we can give the best of ourselves, in building the kind of Africa that we want. So awesome. Moka is a strategic, consulting arm that deals in different aspects of solution providing for our people.
Fantastic. And in talking about solution, Moka Consulting is one of our very strategic partners at Lifestyle Asset Hub Limited, especially when it comes to our engagement of the diaspora and the Africans in diaspora. Like we agree with me that for Africa to develop, Africa needs the diasporan community to come back home to developing Africa, and since we have you on set today, I would like you to talk to our guests about the unique partnership, what Lifestyle Up and Moka, what we are both doing, especially in bringing value and solution to the diaspora and our brothers and sisters in the diaspora.
I'm really personally impressed, and I want to congratulate you for the great work you're doing. with Lifestyle Hub as the CEO.
Thank you, sir.
You know, when I saw your presentation the first time we met, I was really blown away with the kind of ideas that you were bringing on the table. That is the kind of thing that we as diasporans are really looking forward to. It's interesting when we travel across different parts of Africa. It's just like here in Africa, in Nigeria. When you come, somebody would say, "Oh, Maitama," or Asokoro, or Guzape, and some places, and as if there are people who are selected to live in those areas. And I find it interesting to see if some people don't see themselves as that. When you say, "Okay, let's look for where you can find the foreigners," these are the places that you can go. And then you're like, so what happens with the people themselves living in this country? Can they see the dream? And so seeing your plan that Africans can dream that dream, can have the same kind of life, because we are all human beings made equal by God.
Absolutely.
And so if you have that belief, it is possible that you can be a normal life for you. And so the ideas that you brought on the table, that not only just for the diasporans to not see that there's a segregation, a separation, that if you're coming to Africa, you can still have a comfortable life, have that kind of life that you can have in the Western world, that is all here in the continent, but also the people within the continent can have the same dream and live a comfortable life. And so when I saw that as, I would call it what they call a match made in heaven, that said, this is can be a very perfect union, and so I'm very excited about what's happening. We've come into agreement, partnership with Lifestyle Hub, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to tell our people what is happening, what's going on. There's a lot of good stuff going on. One of the first of the project is ready, with swimming pool, with fiber optics, and so many things that shows that you can have a very good life. So based on that partnership, we're very excited to say that you can have a very good life here in Africa through what we're doing, or through the diaspora platform, with partnership with you as Lifestyle Hub. And so I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to great things that we can do together.
Thank you so much. It's been said that every great vision will ultimately attract its sponsors, we attract its partners. And for us at Lifestyle Hub, it's a great honor and privilege to have a reputable organization like Moka backing us up in terms of what we do, and there's so much Lifestyle Hub and Moka will be achieving together. Now, while we go back to talking about the diasporan community and some of the investment benefits they can drive back home, I know one of your greatest calling is to helping businesses and individuals achieve their real potentials. And if there is anything we are committed to at the Discover Your Asset webinar on a weekly basis, is for people to tune in and live inspired. Last week was fantastic. And I know this week, at the end of the day, they will say, wow, sorry, there's nothing like cocastic. I was going to say cocastic. Okay, so Doc, please, I will need you to please, generously, as you've always done, bless our friends watching us today. Okay, some are watching from Ghana, from Tanzania, even from Canada, your primary base, and what do you think, considering the new ecosystem we find ourselves, because COVID has disrupted the space. Okay, so from your own reflection and thinking, and of course experience, what do you think an average entrepreneur needs to be doing right now to taking their businesses to the next level?
Well, first of all, is one to first understand the season that we are in, because if you don't understand the season we're in, then you're in for a bigger surprise.
True.
Just like you mentioned, COVID had disrupted the space, and so it's either that you see it as an opportunity or you see it as a problem. Now we see it as an opportunity. One would say, "What do you mean?" Because it has changed the dynamics of doing business. Yeah. Now, a lot of businesses skyrocketed, grew, because, we've been talking about digital age and people seem not to understand it. And to imagine that big corporations, heads of state, businesses have been going on, even during the time of lockdowns and businesses, that, through the virtual world, things were still happening. Yeah. I remember, just before the COVID in 2019, I traveled a lot. I traveled, I went across over 20 countries. And it's because of one meeting or the other and all that conferences. But to imagine that still meetings were going on in just last year, even up till now, and we were still able to achieve so many things more than even what it was like. Yeah. I remember, based on different meetings and conferences that we were from the African Union and from different engagements that we have, I could only be at one place at a time. True. But I found out through the virtual world, I could, stay in my space, log into this particular meeting happening, maybe finish after 2 hours, log into another one. Yeah. That would have been quite, impossible to travel maybe from Nigeria to Tanzania or Ethiopia, or coming from Canada to, you take 2 days and all that. So you find out that you can actually stay in your space, go from one meeting to another meeting that are very important, that were taking you days to cover. And you are able to do that and still get a very fantastic result. So this season is a very important season that people need to see what it's about, where we're going, and not really get discouraged with what is happening. Now, I love the word and the program, Discover Your Asset. I tell people that the first asset to think about is you. You are the asset. Because there's a program we run called Legacy of Wealth. I tell people that wealth is the person. Because no matter where you're dropped in life, you produce. It doesn't matter what's going on. You are the wealth. Because the deposit that God has placed in you, it's what is the most important thing. And so the asset we're talking about is not so much about properties, it's not about houses and stuff like that. True. It's about the creative mind and the innovative, witty inventions that God has placed inside of you. And by you believing in that, just like what you said, that this day is not an accident because you've thought about it, that we'll be having this conversation today. And so guess what? It's happening. And so I want to talk to anybody listening to us that all the things and dreams that you have that inside of you, these are your asset. And as you allow yourself to continue in that aspect of the dream, it will come true. And so I'm very excited on what you're doing, what this program is about, and the fact that your story is a wonderful success story of what that means. You've shared those stories. I remember about 20 years ago, your story of, working basically as a laborer, so to say.
Do you know one of my greatest pain in life? I never had pictures. Okay, all the pictures I had were just in my mind. I could paint it out right now. But I wish I had someone, I wish there were smartphones then. Someone capturing me where I was carrying those cement, the laterals. I remember my friend Wisdom, one of the co-owners of Pettiness Limited. I remember those days where we'll be filling a construction site with lateral sand. Wow. There was a period that we were practically crying doing it. Wow. Go ahead, sir.
But our listeners or viewers, this is exactly what we're talking about. We're not here to tell you stories that sounds good. We're talking out of our personal experiences. And here our brother is a living example that you can live your dream. The asset is within you. He was at a place one point in his life where he saw ahead of himself. Even though he was at a particular place that does not represent exactly who he thinks he is. But today, he can tell you that dream he saw 20 years ago is manifesting here today. So which means the asset that is within you, it might sound impossible, but you see, anything that doesn't scare you is not real. Anything that doesn't scare you is not real. And so if your vision scares you, you are at the right place. Welcome to the club. And so what we're talking about is that there is so much within you, but what we're doing here today is to give you an opportunity that you can actually have mentors and coaches, because some of us, that's one of the things that helped us, whether through books, through physical mentors and different things, even just the program we're doing now. There are people that can help you to develop that asset that is within you. And that's what we're doing here today. And so it's exciting that, hearing the story of what brought about Lifestyle Hub and the dreams and the things that you said to yourself, and you lived up to it, and you painted those pictures in your mind, and now began to, do your vision board, which is important, that everybody need to have a vision board. What you couldn't capture years back, you can capture it now.
Absolutely.
Draw your vision board and make it a reality. And so that's what we're excited that this time, not only that we are doing what we're doing, because it's not about the talks, it's about what is happening.
Absolutely.
So we are living that example today. And so we still believe that wherever you are, you can be a living legend of the asset and the wealth within you.
Wow. There's something you said very striking. You said wealth is a person. Okay. And what that simply means is that, we've got to, how you want to see yourself in the next 5 years, you've got to start living it in your mind, which also bring to light that our mind is our greatest asset. Because the way we structure our mind determines what we get out of it. Now, the question I want to ask you right now, as we wrap up this conversation gradually, is that not all assets are income-generating assets. You could have a physical house, and that house is a great liability to you. Okay, you could, of course, by default, cars are liabilities anyway. Now you've educated us right now that your real asset is not even about the physical. It's about the way you structure your thought, your belief system, your talent, your gift. Now the question is that from your own experience, how best can we commercialize these great assets?
The first part of life is that you're a spirit. You see, one of the things I like people to understand that you're a spirit having a human experience, not the other way around. People think, I'm a human being, right? Your being is based on your spirit. And so being a spirit, you mean that your scope is limitless. So, the fact that you are here is the fact that the thought is like, I could tell you, my name is Macaulay. The point is, who is saying that? My name. There is the person in me that is saying that. And that person in me is the real me.
Yeah.
It's not this physical body that you're carrying. You see, I tell people I find interesting when people say, my body. I said, interesting thing is that the me was at 1.1 year old. The me became 10.
True.
It is still me, but it was taking different forms. It is still the me. So the me, that spirit in me, took different forms up to the age that I am today. That doesn't mean that what I see now is the real me. The real me is that spirit that says that you can do all things that is within you. The infinite you, the power within you. It is what is real for you.
Wow.
And so when you begin to understand the real you that have no limit, you see, it's interesting that the same energy, the same power, the same you is the same power that placed the sun where it is.
Whoa.
It's the same power that have the moon where it is. That same power that controls that is the same power that gives you the life that you're breathing. So imagine that level of power and influence. So you see, there is nothing in existence. For us in Canada, before any construction is made, a house is built, they always put the whole architectural design, the picture of the house. And so with the picture, you can now give imagination that in next 3 months or 6 months, this picture will be physical. Now, interestingly, somebody designed that.
True.
But somebody thought about it.
Yeah.
And so the picture that thought about was now brought on paper. It's that beautiful saying in the Holy Book, it says, write the vision and make it plain. That whoever that can read it can run with it. And so what you're seeing is there's nothing existing. Even the chairs that we are sitting is a spirit.
Wow.
It came from a thought. If it did not come, if no one saw it, it would not be here. Wow. So I'm sitting on a spirit because somebody thought it, designed it, and here it is.
Now, the value of this chair just went up in my mind right now.
It is.
I feel like jumping up right now.
Yeah.
Doc, you just solved a particular problem for me right now. Okay. In few months' time, I'll be 40.
Wow.
Okay, in few months' time. And I was feeling so bad. That Vvrp, you mean you will stop saying I'm 30 something? I mean, I'm going to make my 30s. Why should I be? Can I just pause this thing for another 5 years? But right now, whether I'm 40, whether I'm 50, it means nothing. Okay, because my spirit, when I was a year old, is the same spirit right now. Am I correct, sir?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Your spirit, you see, when you have the story of people that are said to be dead, before that person dies, if you weigh them and weigh them when they say they are dead, it's the same. It's the same. He was alive, he was weighing the same thing. He's dead, he's weighing the same thing. But what changed? The spirit left. It is that spirit that made that body to be what it is.
Wow.
But you see, that spirit doesn't seem to have a weight. But that's the real you. And so when you become, that's why some of us have learned how to really manage life and see what we call situations and challenges as opportunities.
Yeah.
Because we've turned to a place where we see things and become observers. You know, I hear people say, my headache, my problem. No, it's not your problem. It's a phase that you are to observe. You're not to become it. You are to observe it. And when you become an observer, you have what it takes to now solve the situation.
Wow.
Whatever that comes your way, it's an opportunity for greatness because you're rewarded for the problem you solved. You know, the greatness of life is how much problem you solve. And so as a matter of fact, the excitement of life is how much, where can I find problems to solve? You are called in life to solve a problem. You are meant to create, to continue the creation of God. When God designed us and made us, he said identity, he made us in his own image. In the image of God means that when God made a tree, he put in you to see through the tree that the tree is the seat that we're sitting now. The tree is the books that we read, but it's in the tree. The tree is the bed you're lying on, but he gave you a tree.
Wow. Wow.
You see, when you understand who you are, you begin to see that the sand has a value. You can use the sand to build a house. You can use the sand to do so many things, but you see a sand, but people are making money out of sand.
Wow.
You see, everything around you is an asset that can only be valued through the asset in you. The asset is not outward, it's inward, because the value is around you, but it's placed within you. So when you understand who you are and the value that is within you, you'll begin to see the value and the asset all around you because you are the true asset that places value on things around you.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I don't know, hope you are not sleeping off on us right now because I hope you are, this is deep revelation. Okay, I need to drop on the comment bar what, as Dr. Macaulay said, has struck you the most right now. Okay, and ask as many questions as possible. And we are going to also create the permission for those of you that even want to have his direct email address, just indicate. Okay, because I'm sure we will not want to release his phone number at this point, so we don't disturb him. He's a very busy person. Because I really don't want this conversation to end there. Because trust me, some people right now, they are going through what I call mental reset. Okay, because they see themselves as a physical being, not knowing that they are spiritual being.
Yeah.
Okay, there's something you said very striking. You said you are a spirit having an human experience.
Yes.
Now, I need us to probe that experience deeper, okay, as part of our closing moments. But before you do that, you said something that in Canada, before they build their house, it is first conceptualized in pictorial form, sometimes even in a video form and everything. For us at Lifestyle Hub, global best practice, we try to also learn from the best. Okay, when we travel at Lifestyle Hub, when we go on those vacations, we travel on purpose. I remember 2019 or so, we went on an architectural tour of Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Okay, so I would like our audience to watch what we also thought of, okay, that is gradually becoming, it's reality already, actually, because we thought about the image, but now we have physical estate standing. I would like you all watching us right away to check out this unique architectural masterpiece by Lifestyle Up, a 4-bedroom terrace duplex with a rooftop swimming pool, and will be the first company to commercialize the idea of having rooftop swimming pools in residential apartment. For us, we are very excited about this, and we are even taking it to the next level with what we are going to do in Ghana, in the Ivory Coast, and across the continent of Africa. Please check this out. Voila, you sure deserve the good life. Okay, now let me show you 4 ways you can adopt to acquire one, even more of these terrace duplexes. Okay, we have a very unique package at Lifestyle we call the Big League Package, whereby you simply buy it outrightly, where you spend between $136,000 US to about $236,000 US. Okay, you can own one of these apartments outrightly, and of course within 8 to 10 months your keys are delivered to you, and we have a contract that protects your Big League subscription with us, whereby we even give you a buyback guarantee if you don't even like it upon delivery. It's simply because we are so committed to quality of construction. Then we have another package we call the Elite Vvip Package, which is leverage driven. Okay, what your friend bought for $250,000, for example, you can own it with $44,000 US. Okay, you subscribe with $44,000 US. You recommend 4 of your friends, like we clearly illustrate on the screen right now, and you earn 5% on each of those 4 people, and you qualify for your apartment. Okay, then we have another package we call the Vvip Package, whereby you can own the same apartment with $11,000, whereby you subscribe with $11,000, you recommend 4 of your friends that made the same subscription, you earn 5% commission on each of them, then finally those 4 friends recommend their 4 too, okay, making 16 people in your second generation, you earn a leadership bonus of $11,000 US, almost unbelievable, right? Then of course you qualify for your apartment. Then we have a final package we call the VIP Package, whereby you can own one of those apartments I just showed you across the continent of Africa with a subscription fee of $5,500. You recommend 3 friends, you earn 10% commission on each of those friends. Then of course, those 3 friends recommend their own 3, making 9 in your second generation. When the 9th person signed up, you qualify for a leadership bonus of $5,500 US, okay? Then of course, finally, those 9 friends recommend their 3, making 27. The day the 27th person signed up, you qualify for your apartment. If any of these 4 packages interest you at all, I want to encourage you to contact the vision partner that invited you for today's edition of the Discover Your Asset webinar. They are very intelligent, they are very educated. They will put you through on how you can get started, and they will even educate you on other benefits built into this unique system. Okay, now before we go back to Dr. Macaulay on how we can make the best of us, really being the spirit being, as again being a physical being. All right, I would like to show you a second community very quickly. We call the Solid Refuge by Lifestyler. Check this out. All right, you know, like I always say, that if we are really serious about solving the housing deficit in our dear continent of Africa, we had better started building vertically so that more people can have more access to prime location. And that's what we are trying to achieve with the Solid Refuge apartment, which is 3-bedroom flat apartment with a main room and guess what, with a service rooftop swimming pool. Now you can own one of those apartments through any of these 4 packages. One is the package we call the Big Avon, which is like the outright purchase, whereby you can buy it off between $90,000 to about 120,000 US dollars. Okay, you buy it up outrightly, and within 18 months your keys are delivered to you. Then of course we have a package we call the Avon 3.0. Okay, you can own this with 27,500 US dollars. Okay, you recommend 4 friends that made the same subscription. You earn 5% commission on each of them. Voila, you qualify for your apartment. Just one step deep. Okay, then we have what we call the Avon 2.0, whereby you sign up with a sum of 6,200 US dollars. You recommend 4 friends. You earn 5%. Your friends recommend their 4, making 16 your second generation. You qualify for one of those apartments. Then finally, we have Avon 1.0, whereby you sign up with a sum of 3,100 US dollars. You recommend 3 friends. Your 3 recommend that 3 making 9, and those 9 recommend that 3 making 27. Then you qualify for one of those apartments. Now, why have we created this leverage system? It's been said that definition of madness is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So for us at Lifestyle, we just felt, let us do things differently. If you cannot afford any of our outright packages, why not leverage your way to owning one of those apartments, as against saving your way? Because if you rely on saving your way, it might take you another 20 to 30 years before you could even save. And what you have saved for, it will have even been more expensive upon completion of your savings. That's why we created these leverage packages. So please check out our website, lifestyleassetup.com, to discover us more. Thank you so very much. Wow, it's been a great moment today at the Lifestyle Up headquarters in Abuja. Now today, and I know that this headquarters of ours is actually a spirit in itself.
It is.
Designed to duplicate itself,
yes,
into different structural expansion. Doc, thank you so very much. Because one of my greatest prayers is that God, please help me to empty myself so that I can die empty. And Doc, you've emptied yourself so much. Don't worry, you are not dying soon. Okay? we need you around. Okay, you're going nowhere. You're going nowhere. Yeah. Okay, because you have so much purpose to fulfill for our generation. Because trust me, you are one of my own greatest inspirations. Because sometimes I like to learn from people that have gone ahead of me. And there is something I feel we need to learn further from you today, sir. The statement that you are a spirit being having an human experience. Now the question now is that what are the ways that our human experiences obstruct our consciousness of being a spirit being? So Doc, please talk to us about how our human experience really obstructs us.
Well, like I said, you're a spirit having a human experience. When you're growing up, there are a lot of things, you were taught in life. You were taught your name. Like I was told, my name is Macaulay. I grew up believing that. Now, depends on the environment and the circumstances surrounding your life. It could have been that maybe some people were adopted. And you see somebody saying is your mother, and you grew up believing that. And maybe you were given a name when you were born, and now you've been adopted, your new adopted parents gave you another name. And now somebody who knew when you were born before you were adopted will come and meet you and say, hey, do you know that that's not your real name? Maybe when you were born you were called David. And now you're called Peter. And they said, the actual name is David, not Peter. Now you see, at that point, there is a confusion because all that you knew growing up is based on what was programmed inside your mind. Yeah. You see, the experiences that you have has changed the dynamics of who you are. Now, this person now comes and said, let me prove it to you. I know this, and all that, and go ask this question and all that. By the time you went through all that, you find out this person was right. I was born, I started growing up, I was programmed to believe this. I was programmed to know this. Now, depending on what you do with the information, you can either get frustrated or you can get excited. That the way that these programs were made into you is the way you can deprogram yourself. Absolutely. To reprogram something fresh and download new things into your life that will take it to the next level. What you do with that information is the most important thing. Now, you had that situation, one could call it an experience, a problem that brings confusion. But at the same time, you could say, you know what? Yes, I'm going to find out my real parents. I'm going to find out, and now because of this shifting, you begin a new quest. Maybe because that will satisfy something in you. As you do that process, maybe this without knowing the connection, it had delayed you. You now find out all those details. Not that it really would change anything based on, but one of the things that would change is the satisfaction that it gives you to know your source, to know the energy from which now you function. Now, why I'm saying all this is to say that whatever that has been programmed in you, I've been to places where I saw banana and one would be shocked that everybody knows banana and knows to eat banana, but there are places they don't eat it. There are places that they have beans, which is some things that we love. They don't know what to do. There are places, rice. There's a country, they just started eating rice recently. Wow. So what you know...
You mean what I've been eating every Sunday since I was giving birth to?
And so we have this saying that what you don't know is older than you. Okay? And so now you make an effort to know. You become an age mate with what you never knew. And when you become an age mate, all you want to do is now to grow older than that. How do you grow that older than that? By opening yourself up to learning more. So the experience of life is to bring you to a place where you don't put yourself to always be right, but be open to learn. You know, one of the things that is destroying the limit or bringing the limitation to how far we can go is the sense of being right. Can I tell you, nobody knows it all.
True.
And so the reason why you should leave the aspect of being right is that the vantage point or the viewpoint from where you see life is different from the other person. So if you see a vehicle going through the road, and if I am on the north-south or northeast of that vehicle, and somebody is on the south, east or southwest of the vehicle, so I could see a beautiful, brand-looking vehicle. But from the side that I'm looking for, it could be that that vehicle had a dent. But from the side, when it passed me, it's so brand new and beautiful. And now, I'm saying to you, this car is just a brand new vehicle just driving on the road. And I said, no. From what I saw, that vehicle had a dent on it. And now we can now start debating on who is right. But the point is that if we can now both bring the picture of what we've seen and place it and draw that picture together, we can still come up with a beautiful picture that doesn't make anybody right or wrong.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the reasons why, even with what we're doing on the Moka strategy coming together, is to say, let's bring our minds together. Let's bring what we have together. A tree cannot make a forest. By working together, we can make things happen. So based on your question on the aspect of human experience, is to say that where you are now, whatever that you've been through, whatever that you are going through in life, should excite you. Why? Because these things have brought you to a place of rethink. We have these three levels of mind. We have what we call the conscious mind, and we have what we call the subconscious mind, and we have what we call the super mind. Now, the conscious mind programs and receives information and releases it to the subconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is what we call the thinking mind. Now, your thinking mind is the one that receives information. Like I said, my name, you know, I've taught A, B, C, D to make sentences and my language and my dialect and all that. And it's programmed. Now, if you were in an environment where they were so negative, you've received negative thoughts that said you are not good enough. You cannot do it. You are not qualified. You are big, you're small, you're short, you are this. All this information is now, we are now put in a place called the subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind cannot think for itself. It runs with the information program by the conscious mind. And all you do now is to live a regulated life based on what your subconscious mind tells you. But all you need to do is, if you don't like what you see, we say change it. You just talked about what definition of madness is. Repeating and doing the same thing over and over again, the same getting the same result. So if you want to get a different result, just like a computer, a software programming, you need to reprogram yourself. By allowing yourself to now begin to receive a new information in your conscious mind, a new thinking process, then now you'll be downloaded to your subconscious mind that will give you a new life. Now, the best aspect of this mindset is what I call the superconscious mind, which I call the God mind. It is that mind that tells you that you can do all things through the giftings of God, through the grace that is of God that is within you. It is that mind, you know, where somebody will say, and if I feel an epiphany of something, you sense something. Is that mind that say, go do this or go do that? Is that mind that gives you that excitement of an inspiration? Is that mind that, you see, like I said earlier, anything that doesn't scare you is not real. No, it's not real. Because you're a spirit. Spirit sees beyond Don't make your physical present situation be your reality. Believe in that which you see that is beyond your physical reality. Begin to be and become and get to a place of your what we call the super conscious mind that thinks like the God within you, that thinks like the infinite powers and energy that is within you to become who God has called you to be. And so I'm saying that you're a spirit that have no limit or limitations. That whatever that God has placed within you right now, it's possible. Begin to write them down. Begin to speak life to it. You know, life and death is the power of your tongue. Create the energy you need by blessing yourself. Say good things to yourself because that's who you are. You're called to bless and not to cause. You see, you cannot love anybody around you if you don't love yourself.
Powerful.
True love begins within yourself.
Absolutely.
As you begin to love yourself, the energy of your reality begin to manifest. And it will shock you what you begin to produce based on the asset that is within you.
Wow. You know, thank God we didn't have a contract that we are going to pay you based on the value of what you'll be sharing with us. I'm sure I will need to sell the whole of lifestyle or sell my, all the assets, and at the end of the day, we'll still not be able to pay because you are simply sharing with us timeless, priceless knowledge. You know, you bringing out the real spirit, you know, because, you know, everything you are saying, it's making so much sense to me because there was a period in my life, sir, that I was in serious debt. Serious debt. I mean, you know, you're working, you are making millions of naira, you are using it to pay in debt because you need to protect your integrity. You don't want your name to be attached to that. You know, but I remember clearly that I was super excited, you know, because I kept seeing beyond that very period. And that's what you simply rephrase now, that because spirits see beyond. So it was a spirit in me that made me survive.
That spirit became an observer of the situation.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know, I'm talking about the subconsciousness, you know, and I want to reemphasize what you said earlier. You know, your subconscious mind does not know what is true or false. Only runs with what you say to it.
Exactly.
So what are you saying to your subconscious mind?
Exactly.
For me, I keep telling my subconscious mind that you are the best, Abi. Do you know you are the best? Do you know you are going to change the world? Do you know you are going to tour the whole world? I'm sure when I started saying it, I didn't even have an international passport. Okay.
You know, it's interesting because when I wake up in the morning, for several years I did that because, you know, I have a mirror in Canada over my bed. When I wake up, the first person I see when I get up is
fantastic. I think I need to adopt that.
And then I get up and I get excited.
Good.
And immediately when I see you are the most handsome guy on this
Absolutely.
Man,
Absolutely.
you are so handsome. Macaulay, you are so handsome.
But in reality, in human experience, you are handsome.
Oh, you can see, you know, the manifestations continue to increase, you know. So I tell myself, you know, you're so handsome, you're loving, you're caring, you know. And as I begin to speak these things, I get excited. And I can tell you, I'm a living example of my life today based on what I tell myself.
Wow, thank you so much. Finally, you know, because if we have our way, we want to continue this conversation for another 48 hours. You know, for me, I always like to neuralize these things or duralize these things. Okay, how can we duralize our spirits, the spirit power in us? I don't know if you understand that question, sir. That how can we use this new consciousness that we all now have, that we are primarily spirit beings? How can we use this new consciousness to expand our businesses, our careers? And by 31st of December this year, we will all be proud of ourselves.
You know, once again, you're like I said, you're a spirit being, having a human experience. Now, the experiences that you now have, whatever you term a negative or positive, is actually part of your physical wealth manifestation. Yeah. Because whatever you've been through, so imagine somebody who feels that they were abused. You see, that experience was not meant to destroy you. That experience was to define your calling and purpose. You went through that and survived it. Now, just telling that story could change so many people's life. So imagine that you just become a master of what you already know, whether you call it negative or positive, and you start to package that. Part of what we call intellectual property of experience. Not even about any other thing, but sharing the experience you've acquired in the present situation. It doesn't matter what it is. That you survive to this point without even having food to eat and all that, and you start to tell the world and say, hey, I still have hope to be alive. I am still here. I live on the street, but you have you see, I tell people the phone that we use is money. Could you imagine, so many of you are playing with your phone in this digital age, that you can use your phone, come to Lifestyle Hub and say to Lifestyle Hub, hey, listen, I see the great things you're doing. I have a lot of friends on social media. And you start to use your phone to send messages on your phone and point people to all these things, opportunities. Do you know that they get commission on that?
Absolutely.
That's part of what you just said.
Absolutely.
Now. You can do a digital marketing just with your phone. You can post information just on your phone and be paid. You can go to a store that is not getting traffic and make an arrangement with them that you promote them because nobody really knows them. And you use your phone to go on WhatsApp, to go on Facebook, and just market the person. They pay you referral or commission just using your phone.
Wow.
There are so many things you can do.
Then they will ask you, what do you do? I'm an executive freelance marketer.
Oh, whatever, CEO of digital marketing.
Absolutely.
You know, and
because you are the CEO of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the time you have one or two, experiences of an active aspect of that, you have something to tell. You said, well, I did this and I did 2-3 people, and by the time 1 or 2 persons will confirm, if you come to Lifestyle Hub and do that. You know, so many people want to be paid before. No, I said, don't you go to work before they pay you. So you don't need to say, oh, I'm looking for a job. No, go do something. Your result will bring the money that you're looking for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You go to anywhere they're going to employ you, you have to do the work before they pay you. So the first thing is you go look for somewhere that you know there is a need. He said to them, don't pay me, but I'll do the work. Do with what you have. He says, start with what you have and where you are. Whether you have 5%, you have 10%, use that. Do something, greater result. You will go to 20, to 30, to 40, and even more. Start from where you are. You are the CEO of your life. You are the full asset that can become the greatest that life have ever seen.
Wow.
Congratulations and welcome to your new you.
Wow, congrats. Congrats to every one of us. For me, I just wish I could cry to express my excitement today because, these are very timeless information brought to us today by Dr. Carlo Macaulay. We are really very, very thankful to you, sir. Let me also rephrase some of the last moments, today with Dr. Macaulay. He said something very striking, and I'm going to rephrase it in my own way. The harder your story, the sweeter it becomes.
Yes.
And the sweeter your story, the more people are willing to pay you for sharing it.
Exactly.
So what that means that, like you said earlier, start getting excited about your current situation.
Yes.
Because it's a privilege. Don't wish for less challenge. Wish you were better. Okay. So I'm so grateful. And let me just quickly rephrase some of my jottings today. Some of the key highlights of today's webinar with Dr. Macaulay Carlo. And I'm so grateful to our team at the Orb Academy that really packaged this. Because when you see us on sets every week, it's not a one-man show. It's because there are certain people behind the camera making this happen to us. And Dr. Carlo said something. He said, what you don't know is older than you. Okay, so why don't you quickly start acquiring more knowledge so that you can be at par in terms of age with the things you didn't know. Just the way that the money you are looking for is in the hand of people, is in the hands of people you've not met. Because if it's in the hand of people you've met, how come they've not even brought the money in the first place? Okay, then of course, kill every sense of being right. You've got to be open-minded. Okay, you've got to be open-minded. Like I said already, be excited about where you are right now And what you do with an information is what matters. It's not even the information itself, okay? Spirit, see beyond. How are you seeing? How well are you seeing? Are you seeing beyond your current situation? Okay? And of course, we are all spirits having human experience. For me, I'm super excited and I'm so grateful to God for this great privilege of having Dr. Macaulay Kalu on set of the Discover Your Assets webinar. So trust me, we will need to call you again and have another conversation with you. Not to worry, we know you are very busy, but we are going to think about it. We'll think it into existence because we know we are spirit being now. Yes. And there is no limit, nothing limits spirits. Okay, and I can see the devil feeling so ashamed right now because he knows that we've gathered some of the secrets that he's been using to hold us down. Yeah. So, and besides, we are even higher spirits than the devil because God created us in his own image. Yes. He could have created us in the image of the devil now. I'm sure we won't be running away from ourselves. Okay, so for me, I feel so very powerful right now because I know that nothing can stop me. And I know my friends, partners watching us today, they all know that nothing can actually stop them. Thank you so much, Dr. Macaulay. Thank you so much. We wish you all the best and everything you do at the African Union 6th region. So I just want to thank every one of you for being part of today's webinar. It's been a great moment. If we have truly impacted you today, you'll do two things for me. Number one, I would like you to share the replay link of today's edition with your friends, with your team members. Let them watch and let the spirit in them be ignited. Okay, then of course I want you to subscribe. Okay, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course so that you can always get notification about all our posts. We'll be back again next week with another equally fantastic edition, because for us at Lifestyle Up, we believe that knowledge must precede wealth, and we've just acquired more knowledge today through Dr. Macaulay Kalu. And for us, it's going to help us take our lives, our careers to the next level. Thank you so very much. My name is Abioye, and of course, I work for Lifestyle Up as a CEO. See you next time. God bless you. Bye.